Hello and welcome to the Theimpactplay, the premier source for reviewing and discussing the latest in technology and video games. My name is Muhammad and I'm your host and producer here on the ones and twos, and we are the simple folk for the marginalized, giving voices to the voices, sharing their stories to the world. Make sure you subscribe to us over on the YouTube channel at youtube.com/@Theimpactplay. Make sure you have notifications on so you don't miss a beat. So we are recording live on our YouTube channel as well. So you end up missing the live, we're able to join us. Fretnouns will be available on podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you consume content, or however you consume content. We are there. Your support is what keeps the lights and mics on and keeps us doing what we do best. You can learn by visiting Theimpactplay.com/support and how the many ways go out and support us in the show. So here's a free way if you wanted to support the show even further. So we are big partners. Every purchase you make with the Epic Game Store, use that code to go to Theimpactplay. Help us. So use that when you're buying anything regularly, Fortnite, Fall Guys, even when you're playing, claiming any free titles as well. Probably that helps us. Helps with the show as well. I don't know how, but it does. So we have a lot to discuss. We have what the heck is going on with Xbox, and even more news to discuss regarding video games and technology, those industries as well. So before we get into that, here's a few words from our sponsors. For Commander, playthroughs and discussions around Magic the Gathering, the trading card game, be sure to check out my new show, The Commander Play. So we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, Apple Music, and more. Simply go to thecommanderplay.com for more. Be sure to check out our other shows by visiting theimpactplay.com, where we are the premier source for discussing and reviewing the latest in technology, video games, film, television, and even event and show coverage. So technology and video games will be under the Theimpactplay branch. The Theimpactplay screenplay will be focusing on entertainment, film, television, anything under the entertainment umbrella. And for the cover play is based primarily, or I should say, focusing on event and show coverage. In a world where we have less time than ever, sitting reading books, whether it be digital or physical, you can sign up with Audible, the most efficient way of consuming books in the modern era. You can sign up for your free 30-day trial and immediately get access to 1 credit. Amazon Prime can double that, and it's 2 credits. Good for any premium title. Simply go to audibletrial.com/Theimpactplay. Once again, that is audibletrial.com/Theimpactplay. So as I said before, we are recording live right now at youtube.com/Theimpactplay. So our name to join us live. If you're able to join us live, you have to hit that like button. Definitely consider subscribing as well if you haven't done so already. Otherwise, if you're listening to us on the audio version or later on on our YouTube page or even on Spotify as well, be sure to give us a like, give us a 5-star rating, and even in a review if you can do so. Otherwise, let's get into the news, folks. We got a lot to unpack, to discuss, so let's roll right into it. So, so it looks like AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile are declaring legal war against the FCC. So let's get into this article. So they plan to appeal the FCC's $200 million fine over the handling of users' location data. So it goes like this. So in a statement provided to Mashable, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile signaled their intent to appeal the FCC's fine, which was dilated after the companies for allegedly mishandling customer-sensitive location-based data. Earlier this week, the FCC announced it was fining AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, and T-Mobile for allegedly selling access to its own customers' location data to aggregators. The aggregators then resold this access to other third-party location-based service providers. In one specific case, one of these aggregators, a prison communication service company called Syracuse, provided access to a Mississippi sheriff, who in turn used this data to track the location of people throughout their cell phones. So according to the 3 big mobile carriers, FCC is wrongly holding the big telecom companies responsible for the improper use of their customers' data. The FCC orders lack both legal and factual merit, said an AT&T spokesperson. So in regards to this is the Verizon way. Verizon echoed AT&T's statement with Mashable. And in one case, when one bad actor gained unauthorized access to information relating to a very small number of customers, we quickly and proactively cut off the fraudster, shut down the program, and worked to ensure this couldn't happen again. So how is this This is holding you guys accountable because you guys are selling the data. So you guys are in charge of protecting customers' data. How is this unclear? So just they use an example to defend why they shouldn't be fined, and in turn proved why they should be. It was your own incompetence to sell it to anybody, and they told you aggregators, people who go above and beyond, more than just advertisers. So I love how they think, oh no, we shouldn't be fined, but yet if somebody does go above and beyond where they're aggressive, where people shouldn't have access to, well, we're gonna cut them off, or whatever. We'll take our own measures against them. I'm like, yeah, but you're the ones that should be. Otherwise, if that was the case, why would you bother? If you weren't supposed to be, hold any form of accountability, why would you bother cutting them off essentially? So 2 and 2 doesn't make sense. Like seriously. These companies think that they could work however they like without any form of accountability or measures at all. Like it's fascinating. So speaking of companies, Apple's Let Loose event took place. When did it take place? A couple of days ago, so the 8th. So they didn't unveil much. It was literally new iPad Air models, 14 and 16 inch. Let me see. If I'm not mistaken. No. The iPad. Oh, I'm sorry. The iPad Air is 13 and 11 inch. Let's see. It has, the front-facing camera has moved to the landscaping edge, and in turn, the magnets on the new iPad Pro, I'm sorry, the Apple Pencil Pro, has been moved accordingly. So and the Magic Pad, I think what it's called. Let me see. I'm going off of memory here. Let me get into this article. Magic. What is the magic? Oh, it's funny. Oh no, I don't see it. I don't see it at all. It's not in this article. Like it's so weird. Okay, let me see. Available to pre-order. Nope, not what I want. Let me see if I can find it. Where are you? You know what? Let's go into apple.com. F11. Uh, there we are. Okay. iPad. That's the best way to do it. Okay. iPad Air. 1311. They're both here. I could have sworn they said something about a 14 inch. Am I just thinking out loud? Or just assuming it? So the iPad Air comes in 4 colors, iPad Pro in the white and black. And apparently with the iPad Pro, it has a dual OLED screen on top of each other, which apparently makes it visually better or somehow, apparently. So the iPad Pro has the M4 chip, which is the newest chip. I don't know, let's see. But my question is, if this is more powerful than the M3 in the Mac that was just released, what is it, earlier this year? Why didn't he just debut that in a Mac? In a MacBook? That does not make any sense at all. But it is what it is. Oh, here it is, the Magic Keyboard. That's what it is. So the new Magic Keyboard, let's get into this. Let's see, it should be here somewhere. Accessories, iPad. No, here it is. Let's get into the Magic Keyboard. Wait, this is for the iPad Pro. So this is a Pro and an iPad Air. Yeah, so you can't. Oh wow! So you can't just use it with. They're not just compatible with both. Wow, I did not know that. So you have to get the one specifically for the one you are getting, and these are only so they're not interchangeable. You can only order specifically towards whatever iPad you have, and these are only available again with the new models. Like wow. And look, see how the price changes. So you can't use it interchangeably. Like wow. And apparently it has the function was on top, like similar to a Mac. I don't know if you can see it from here. It's like weird. It's like a weird angle. It's like right there. Let's go into the MacBook Pro. That's why it might show it better here. Yeah, there it is. Right here. Yeah, no, it doesn't show it here. Like literally. But yeah. So it essentially turns your iPad into a Mac, but instead of just buying a Mac directly. So I love how that makes sense. Okay, let's get into the rest of this. Let's go back to reading this article. Oh, and apparently we have a new Apple Pencil Pro that is compatible with both. Like I said, because they changed the lens where the camera is on the iPad. This newest Apple Pencil Pro is only compatible with the newer models as well. Okay. And speaking of the new devices, we ended up getting later on confirmation where it'll have eSIM, so it won't have a physical SIM slot. It is said, but you still activate it with your wireless carrier as well with 5G if you like. Speaking of new devices, we're getting a not a new, pretty much like a revision, not even a mid-generational refresh. So the ROG Alloy, instead of the ROG Alloy 2, which is the, what is it called? The Republic of Gamers, by Asus, their handheld computer console thingamajiggy. So apparently this was a little bit of a tidbit, and they said they're going to release a lot more specs later on. They haven't said when, but literally it's gonna have a better battery life. And the main reason why I found out from another show from the Casanova podcast is it's because there was an issue with the SD card slot. So the way they could do a silent quote unquote a refresh. That's why they came out with this model. Literally, not to improve the battery life, because if it was a generational refresh or a Pro version, like how we get the PS4 Pro or PS5 Pro, or what have you, they would have come out with an OLED model, like the way Steam Deck did. Literally, the Steam Deck after the Steam Deck, they came out with Steam Deck OLED, which is a mid-generation upgrade because it's not like just an OLED version of the screen. It improved a lot of stuff within the next iteration of the Steam Deck, so it was a mid-generation upgrade from the original Steam Deck. This, however, isn't, because they they focused on the SD card slot, and in turn they've increased the battery and what have you. And then apparently they're saying it's going to be more repair friendly, including interchangeable redesigned joystick models. The M.2 SSD slot has increased, making it easier to find third-party SSDs. It's gonna have the same exact CPU and the same 7-inch LCD display. So literally nothing else is changing. So yeah, and we talked about TikTok plenty of times on the show, where TikTok, the government has voted to ban TikTok. Well, TikTok is apparently suing the United States government over the ban. Attempting to overturn the unconstitutional TikTok ban. the apparently the unprecedented step of expressly singling out and banning TikTok. The legal filing says that what the U.S. government is proposing, a TikTok parent company ByteDance, either divest or risk the app being banned in the United States. It's not feasible and would not force the shutdown of the app in the United States by January 19, 2025. Right. Apparently, Tesla is being investigated for securities and wire fraud for self-driving claims. Which finally, it looks like the government is stepping in. So, the investigation was first reported back in October 2022, has been ongoing since 2021. Apparently, the probe is looking into statements made by Elon Musk. In particular, for years, Musk has been quote unquote promising fully autonomous Tesla vehicles are just around the corner, but apparently nothing's been, I guess, written in stone ever since. That's why they're looking into it. Apparently, we're getting a Google I/O. The 2 days from now, as of this live recording, so it's May 12th. So Monday, Tuesday. So it's gonna be we're gonna expect some details on the upcoming Android 15 update as well as Gemini AI and more. We're getting a new earbuds from Sennheiser. The Sennheiser is called the Hisentum True Wireless Earbuds. It's apparently going to have an all-in-one design and have ANC noise cancellation for $200. It's apparently $100 cheaper than the flagship Momentum True Wireless 4 earbuds. Microsoft is, well, yeah. Now, let's get into what the heck is going on with Microsoft. We got a lot to unpack here and a lot to discuss. So if you guys are still watching us live, thank you guys so much. If you haven't already, be sure to consider liking and definitely subscribing this video now, or this, the channel in general. Otherwise, let's get into this. So essentially, 4 studios are going to be shutting the stores under the Bethesda Game Studio, or which is directly under the Xbox Game Studio. So the 4 studios are as follows. Oops, I dropped it. Tango, Alpha Dog Games. Let's see. Let's get into the specifics. Where are you? So, Arcane Austin, Tango. So let me see. Alpha. Did we see Alpha? Yeah, we said Alpha, and Roundhouse Studios. So it looks like Roundhouse is going to be absorbed into ZeniMax. So we'll go again to the response later, and then we'll discuss all this. And then let's see. No, not you. Not you. Oh, here it is. Sarah Bond apparently was being asked questions in regards to this. And then she called that a moment of transition. Okay. Let's see, where are you? And then in an email sent by Matt Booty, Microsoft blamed the cuts on reprioritization of titles and resources. In the email, he was stated as saying, "We are making tough decisions to create capacity, to increase investment in other parts of our portfolio, and focus on our uh, proprietary games." Microsoft has faced widespread criticism, which we're going to discuss as well. Oh, sorry, now we're going to the Sarah Bond interview. Let's see. She was asked about the video games industry current lack of growth, a troubling factor. Let's see. So in the last year or so, in video games, largely the industry's been flat. Bond replied, and even 2023, we saw just some tremendous releases, tremendously groundbreaking games, but still the growth didn't follow all of that. A lot of that's related to our need to bring new players in and making games more accessible. But all of that has been happening at the same time that the cost associating with making these beautiful AAA blockbuster games is going up, and that time it takes them is going up. And so much of our focus as Xbox is about to how we do things to help the industry all up, while also ensuring that our brand, everything that we do, is there through the moment of transition. When she was then directly asked about this week's decision to close those four studios, responding, she pointed to the industry's current failure to meaningfully grow its audience and a desire to ensure Xbox survives this transition. Literally all mumbo jumbo. So she didn't address the issue at all. Then it looks like Jason Schreier even reported that ZeniMax was under pressure to make significant cuts, and they ended up choosing uh, those studios to be, I guess, the ones who ended up being cut. So let's close this down. And she even stated, in regards to Xbox's plans on the mobile storefront, it will launch in July 2024. So instead of building a their own app store, they're gonna focusing on being a web-based app store. So this way they could go around uh, the the current restrictions of the App Store and the Android Store. Okay, so now let's get into all this. So Tango GameWorks, they make their critically acclaimed Hi-Fi Rush title, right? Hard dropped out of nowhere and ended up doing good, won a ton of awards, but yet they're but yet the funny thing is that they even stated beforehand that they want to give these studios the creative freedom to create what they want to create. But then again, why did they close the studios if that was the case? But yet they want to focus on games on as long by giving them the creative freedom as long as it meets a certain goal, right? But like clearly the Tango won so many awards, and on top of that, it was a Japanese-based studio, so like it was their own Japanese connection in Japan. But now you cut that off because literally we were discussing not even a year ago, complaining about you need a presence in Japan, but you cut off your only legway in Japan. So this is not making any sort of sense at all. Why they did this, and then they literally not even a year ago said, "Oh, having Russia's critically acclaimed," but yet, well, like a year later. So now these other studios are that are coming up with their games like Rare for going multi-platform with Sea of Thieves might even close down, or what's the studio that's coming out with? I forgot it. It's coming out. It's literally coming out this month. I think, if not next month in June. Let me see. Xbox releases 2024. Let me see. Avowed. No, not Avowed. Let's see. Hellblade 2. So a Ninja Theory is gonna be at the back of the mind if we don't meet a certain benchmark. Forget a Game of the Year award. I don't even think none of these matter. If they don't meet a certain benchmark, then they're gonna be closed down too. So a lot of these studios, even they come out with their own creative new IPs, they're gonna be afraid to come out with any new IP because Microsoft is gonna be focused on money, like anything that makes them money. I don't need these big titles. Even Call of Duty, they're having internal discussions of it may or may not come on Game Pass. So they're reconsidering it. They're having internal discussions, even though I doubt it won't show up. I'm pretty sure that it will. That's the whole point of Game Pass. Otherwise, just shut down Game Pass now. Tell us about the June showcase. But otherwise, it's like they're supposedly they bought ZeniMax, Bethesda, APK, so they could give these studios their creative freedoms. They can give them so the studios can focus on newer IPs and what they're great at. But yet, when they do, they can risk being shut down or closed or absorbed or what have you. So it's like, and then be sure to give a listen to the latest Xbox 2 episode where Jez, Gordon, and from Windows Central and Rand, they have an amazing discussion. They have a unique perspective on this whole nonsense that's been going on with Xbox. So I would definitely recommend it. Give them a listen as well. But yeah, it's like wow, and I prefer Xbox over playing it anywhere else. Like Nintendo Switch, I prefer to play my indie titles. But everything else, I play on Xbox if I can. If not, I play it on PlayStation. But I barely even turn on my PlayStation. I haven't turned it on in months because I play mainly on my Xbox. It's like wow. And speaking of Hi-Fi Rush, apparently Limited Run says that the physical edition is still going on after even after the studio closed down. Okay, there is an IGN live happening. Let's see, when is it happening? June 7th to the 9th. It's gonna celebrate Tetris' 40th anniversary. Let's see. The IGN podcast will be live. High and Life, they're doing a giveaway for the High and Life comic. Borderlands, it'll feature the director and cast of the upcoming Lionsgate film Borderlands. Phil Spencer will be on as well. And others of the team will stop by IGN Live, give a in-depth conversation. So apparently, hopefully they'll acknowledge and hopefully discuss, give us some answers, some reassurance of what's been happening as of late. So yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye out. Speaking of PlayStation, so the whole nonsense going on with Helldivers 2, they apparently, when it first launched on Steam, PSN wasn't required, and then PSN was required, and then they made it optional, and then everybody lost the trust in it, and then it's like been going on. It's a whole mess with the PlayStation as well. because PSN is not available in every country that Helldivers is. And apparently, it looks like Ghost of Tsushima will apparently will not learn the lessons of Helldivers 2 and instead will be required for multiplayer. Okay. So speaking of now the other version of Nintendo Switch, it apparently is losing Twitter integration, and the whole reason because of Twitter requiring companies to start paying for using their API or APK, whatever you call it. So he's ended up cutting it off. So speaking of Nintendo, their newest console, they finally acknowledged it. They gave us official confirmation that it will not be at the June showcase. Instead, it will be at some point within the fiscal year. So before the end of March of 2025. So they finally gave us confirmation that we already knew it was coming. That it is coming. So we'll see. I'm definitely excited for it. I'm gonna be getting it day one, or pre-ordering it, what have you. So God of War Ragnarok is reportedly it's gonna be hitting PC as well. It doesn't say when. It says it's the next game that will be headed to PC. It looks like Final 14 servers were hit with worldwide DDoS attack. And then we have the Rogue Prince of Persia has apparently been delayed because of Hades 2. Instead of competing with Hades 2, they decided to delay it in May, and we'll have a precise date later on. Speaking of, I forgot to mention this earlier. Nintendo did I guess announced the Nintendo World Championship NES Edition. Now it's available to pre-order now, and it essentially is a speedrun of a collection of games that you can speedrun through, and it's made for speedrunning. Sonic's next game is apparently it looks similar to Fall Guys, and it's called Sonic Rumble, and it's apparently going to be coming out on iOS and Android devices. GameStop is probably going through some new changes as well. Now it looks like they will be buying and selling rare Pokemon cards, and a collaboration with collab with PSA. And it isn't necessarily limited to just Pokemon. They could, and this could start as early as next week. The Witcher 3 is getting official mod support arriving this month, May 21st. Since the project has announced it will be receiving the official Red Kit mod support. Alan Wake and Controller developer Remedy canceled their mysterious multiplayer title. Yeah. We have EA Sports, the artwork for the cover did apparently leak early, and EA did say a full reveal is coming up next week. It leaked on the PlayStation Store. And it probably doesn't look too bad. Let me show you what it's going to look like momentarily. Like, it looks very realistic. I'm not gonna lie. Like, doesn't that look like real to you? It looks like an actual game. Like, literally. Okay, let's see. Let's get out of you. Oops. Close. We did that already. We did that. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this earlier. That looks like Game Pass could be getting a little price hike. We'll see. Right. And Steam is apparently banned in Vietnam due to Valve's business operations. For an injustice to domestic publishers, whatever that means. Okay. And apparently, Japanese Indian publishers steer Tokyo Indie Game Summit. Companies are paying attention, whatever that means. So, indie gaming in Japan is growing, while domestic investment in indie publishing and greater investment in independent and doujin creators is uprooting the Japanese games industry. According to the reports released by Tokyo Game Show organizer Nikkei, a record number of indie developers submitted titles for consideration in the selected indie 80 at the event, including a record 218 Japanese creators. Even the Japanese government recently announced investment schemes to fund and produce more domestic indie titles. But yet, Xbox cut off their Japanese foothold. So, like, literally. But yeah. The reason why I talk about international things that are going on internationally is because we are, I'm way over 40 countries listening to the show worldwide. So that's the whole reason why we mention international, what's going on internationally, and not just here domestically in the United States, but also internationally, whatever's going on, for instance, in Europe or Japan or what have you. Right. Talked about that. So we are literally done. We're off. So if you guys want to send us some feedback that could be featured on the show, simply go to theimpactplay.com/feedback. I don't know how you can do so. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for being a supporter today. If you want to join the conversation offline, you can by joining our amazing Discord community that is always growing. So simply go to theimpactplay.com, which I'm going to show you that. Okay, here we go. And click on the Discord icon. Alright. So, the corresponding WhatsApp icon will take you to our WhatsApp channel. It's the best way to get the most immediate updates from anything here on the Theimpactplay. And I forgot to talk about this earlier. For everyone, for all those amazing mothers out there that made us who we are, that made us the people or the persons we are today. Shout out to you moms out there. Shout out to all the mothers and happy Mother's Day. So, so we talked about that. Also, if you are, or if you are watching us live, or you just watching the VOD later on, whatever the case may be, give us a like and definitely consider subscribing as well. You should come back to Theimpactplay is where you want to be for all these episodes, for all our different shows, whether they be Theimpactplay, they don't play a screenplay, even they don't play cover play as well. And we even have some more content coming on YouTube as well, specifically just for YouTube. So that won't specific videos that won't make it to the podcast as well. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate every single one of you. Be sure to consider following us on social media, whether it be Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, what have you. We are there. Otherwise, thank you so much. We appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. We will have a show that will go live for the Theimpactplay screenplay on podcast services on YouTube. Either literally by Tuesday. By Tuesday. By Tuesday the latest, we'll have another episode. Otherwise, thank you guys so much. Have a great one, and we'll see you all next time around.